Right friends, welcome back to the mini capsule. This is AIDS and ART. Before going ahead, two words are very important. What is antiretroviral therapy or ART? What is the CD4 count? So these two words must be known to you before understanding this lecture. Here ART means antiretroviral therapy. Antiretroviral therapy means it is a combination of antiretroviral drugs, or you can say combination of drugs. Why combination of drugs are used? The combination of drugs are used to suppress the HIV virus. To suppress the HIV virus, not only that, to stop the progression of HIV disease. This ART prevents the onward transmission of HIV because of the reason that HIV virus will be suppressed because of this antiretroviral drugs, or you can say combination of drugs. So, with the usage of ARV, huge reductions have seen in the rates of death as well as infections. The HIV infected people are prone for infections, and that HIV virus is to be suppressed. If HIV virus is not suppressed, what will happen? Persons will become prone to diseases and infections will be easily attacked. You may have a doubt why infections will be attacked? Because of HIV virus. If HIV virus is active, then what happens? CD4 count will be reduced. Please look into this slide. CD4 count. CD4 cells are a type of white blood cells. CD4 cells are a type of white blood cells that play a major role in protecting body from infections. In protecting the body from infections, CD4 cells play a major role. And if a healthy individual you take, the CD4 count must be between 500 to 1600 cells per cubic millimeter. So, per cubic millimeter, the count of this CD4 cells must be from 500 cells per cubic millimeter to 1600 cells per cubic millimeter. But because of HIV virus, if HIV virus is active, then what happens? This CD4 cell count will reduce. It may go down to below 100, 200, something like that. So that's why, to prevent the reduction of CD4 count going down, this HIV virus is suppressed with the use of ART or antiretroviral drugs. These are combination of drugs. So this is all about ART and CD4. And now let us look at the news report. WHO, World Health Organization, issued guidelines 2 years ago that antiretroviral therapy is to be used for the people living with HIV irrespective of CD4 count. And after 2 years, now India stated that it is going to use ART irrespective of CD4 count. Union Health Minister has said that any person who tests positive for HIV will be provided with ART as soon as possible, irrespective of CD count. So, what is this history? With regard to the historical perspective of CD4 count, in 2002, first World Health Organization issued ART guidelines. Initially, World Health Organization issued guidelines which stated this is to be implemented. That means ART treatment is required when the CD4 cell count goes to below 200 cells per cubic millimeter. Below 200 per cubic millimeter, then only it was recommended in 2002. Then subsequently in 2013, it is stated that for the persons who got these cells below 500, they must be provided with ART treatment. The recommendation at that time was based on the evidence, the recommendation of this 500 cells, because it increased from 200 cell count to 500 cell count. What was the reason? The reason was there was an evidence that earlier initiation of ART with the people infected with HIV, there are chances that they live longer, remain healthier and substantially reduce the risk of them being transmitting virus to others. So, when the ART was started in the earlier stages, then 2-3 advantages are there. The first one is people will live longer. Second one is people will remain healthier. Third one is it will substantially reduce the risk of transmitting the virus to others. So, the availability of safer, affordable, easy to manage medicines that could help to lower the amount of virus in the blood played a key role in the WHO's decision. Subsequently, in the year 2015, World Health Organization changed its guidelines once again, and in 2015, World Health Organization stated that from the clinical trials and observational studies, it became clear that an earlier use of ART, irrespective of CD4 count, results in better clinical outcomes. So, World Health Organization in 2015 recommended ART for the people infected with HIV virus, irrespective of their cell count or CD4 count, or you can say in 2002 200 cells, 2013 500 cells, 2015 irrespective of the cell count. If a person is infected with HIV virus, this ART is to be started. These guidelines were issued in 2015. Now, after 2 years, now Government of India decided to implement this WHO directive of 2015, right? Now, look at India. India has got 21 lakh HIV positive people, 16 lakh are diagnosed, and 5 lakh people are not aware about their status. Out of 21 lakh, 16 lakh are diagnosed and 5 lakh are not aware about their status. And now with the government changing the guidelines, what I would like to tell you is, out of this 16 lakhs, 10 lakhs are already in the treatment, 10 lakhs are taking ART, and remaining 6 lakhs are there. So, now remaining 6 lakhs have to be brought under ART. So, here remaining 6 lakh who have been diagnosed but not been on treatment are now eligible for treatment. And another important aspect is, out of this 6 lakhs, 2.5 lakh people already enrolled for pre-ART. So, therefore, there is no problem as far as 2.5 lakh people are concerned. But the biggest problem comes to identify 3.5 lakh people who have been diagnosed. They have to be brought under ART. That is one challenge. And the biggest challenge still is the persons 5 lakh people who are infected but not diagnosed. Right? So, the biggest problem is now 3.5 lakh people, they have to be brought under ART, and another biggest problem is to bring this 5 lakh people who are having AIDS but not being diagnosed, right? Because if these people are not tracked, then what happens? Infections will increase, because India, new infections are 80,000 every year. New infections in our country are 80,000. Right, you got the point here. Efforts must be made to expand. At present, we have 1600 treatment delivery sites, and they must be expanded, and there must be greater focus on identifying people with HIV, and the government has plans to start community-based testing that must be implemented, and government must focus on special groups whoever are vulnerable to infections, such as partners of people who are HIV positive. Right, friends, this is all about ART, CD4 count and revised guidelines, and now India is implementing revised guidelines. Right, friends, This concludes this mini capsule. Have a nice day. Thank you.